Thanks a lot for that, Sarah. Great tour from the Chia Dream home this morning. Joining us back in studio is Arielle LaRue from Gypsy and Company Vintage Clothing. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So this is a store I didn't know existed, but you're telling me there's one on Elgin, and then you're moving into a second location here.
Yes, there is. We're a vintage clothing boutique. We're really new in Ottawa. We took over our space. It's just off of Elgin on Gilmore Street.
Okay.
209 Gilmore. We took over in April, and we've been loving it so much that we've actually chosen to expand, and we'll be opening a new store in the ByWard Market on Dalhousie Street.
That's pretty impressive that you've been able to do that quick of a turnover and have these two stores. So what kind of items are we finding in the store?
High-end vintage pieces, and by high-end I just mean high quality. We put a lot of work into our clothes, which is something that is a little bit different. I think it sets us apart. Every piece has between 10 minutes and 3 hours of handwork that actually goes into bringing it to a more modified, modern place where it will fit in with really with any woman's wardrobe.
The one thing I noticed was you saying plus size with vintage, and then I realized plus size when you're talking vintage clothes isn't actually that plus size.
Yes, it's almost more normal size. Anyone who wears a lot of vintage clothing tends to notice that all of the sizes are very, very small, partly because people were smaller, partly because those are just the pieces that happen to be well preserved, just because they haven't been worn as much because they're very petite. So what we've actually done in order to have more of our customers be able to find more pieces that they're happy with, is we've actually started a whole plus size section at the Gilmore shop, which basically we say it starts around a size 10. We can carry up into a size 18. I have never been able to find something larger than that, so that's generally the ballpark range of our sizes. It depends on what's in stock at the moment.
So you were putting this dress on, and I said, oh, wait, you're putting it on backwards, but that wasn't the case.
No, it's actually just a low-backed dress. It's absolutely gorgeous, perfect holiday piece in a beautiful velvet.
So that's the back. There's the front for you.
Yeah. It's
okay,
crazy.
and these are a lot of these fun pieces. Where are you finding a lot of them?
I source my pieces from all over. Obviously some from Ontario, from Quebec, but I'm also from Vancouver, so I do a lot of my shopping on the coast and from the Maritimes as well. We travel a lot to get pieces to New York and Los Angeles, and really just bringing an eclectic group of pieces, but definitely with a consistent style, very feminine, but still very wearable and very modern.
Yeah, so I mean, very feminine. That was one thing I noticed. And we're having some fun with some shirts.
Yeah, a nice little blouse. Cute colors, not too outrageously psychedelic. And we do have a lot of great fall separates in right now. I try to carry a lot of separates just because it's so easy for anyone to really wear them in with any wardrobe. So that's something that we really try to focus on, is really, really wearable pieces.
Just to feel the fabrics, it's just so different from what you find now in the stores.
They're definitely more durable. Vintage clothing, just in general, lasts longer, is of a higher quality, and a lot of these pieces are actually made in Canada, which is a really exciting part of what we do, is being able to find these beautiful suits and wools and dresses that were actually made in Montreal and Toronto or even in Ottawa. So it's really nice to have a piece of that legacy of what this huge industry used to be here in Ontario.
That's really, it's impressive. And the one thing that we're going to be checking out in the next segment, a lot of the accessories.
Yes, vintage accessories and some handmade stuff as well.
How much of it is handmade, and how much, as you had mentioned when you said you're adding more detail to the work that you're looking for, adding lace, like what are you adding to it?
Oh, it's mostly just repairs, slight alterations, changing sleeves, raising hemlines, adding details as much as needs be, replacing zippers, things like that.
Do you often find too that a client will come in and they know the look that they're going for and will say, I like this, but I want this taken out, or want to make changes?
Much. I like to believe that I managed to get a read on that fairly well. We do some minor alterations and like seamstress work for customers, but usually I think they're pretty satisfied with the pieces.
You've done it. You've recreated them before that you even put them out.
Exactly, yeah, and that's part of why we do that, is so that when you get a piece off the rack at Gypsy and Company, it's completely ready for you to wear.
Okay, and can I ask about the name? We have this the concept of the gypsy.
Yes, well, that's really what a huge part of the business is just traveling around and collecting all of these pieces. So when I started the store, it was really kind of tip of the hat to all the nomadic lifestyle that I end up leading, just traveling around and getting all of the pieces for the store.
Well, these are beautiful. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the accessories. So we'll be checking back in with Gypsy Clothing and Company. That's coming up right towards the end of the show, because over the next half hour or so we do have an Ask the Expert segment. We have romantic fireplaces and barbecue is in. So if you have your questions, get them ready. We're going to be joining up with them for our Ask the Expert that's coming your way after this commercial break.